Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. I'm a licensed cognitive behavior therapist and a licensed mental health counselor. This is for entertainment purpose only. I'd like to start by thanking all my subscribers, both my old and new subscribers, viewers, and I'd like to thank everyone for the interesting comments, mindful, respectful comments that you all leave behind in the channel. I really appreciate that. Let me start by saying that this is for entertainment purpose only, strictly entertainment purpose only. And let me start by saying this is speculation. Until it's proven as the facts, obviously we have to call it speculation, but there's a lot of facts in this. This was one of the fraternity boys from Sigma Chi who actually left this note or the statement. Let me go back by saying I'm not sure if Per Fratinen is a fraternity boy, but it looks like, it seems like. He says, "Bro, you can see the Kings Road house from David Essex room. Once the third floor light turned off, they did it. 19 minutes total, walked included. Talked about the shit as Bishop Kelly and SX, Loach, and E got into a fight that night. That's Loach, David Loach, and E got into a fight that night. X allegedly talking shit. L had probs with Mads also." So these are two guys we're talking about. David Loach and the other one that ends with L. I'm not really sure his name. They had problems with Maddie too. So there was a fight that night between Eaton and David Loach. He had a fight with Eaton, and then X allegedly was talking shit. L had problems with Mads also. So basically he had problems with Eaton, Zana, and Maddie, allegedly. This shit been brawling since fall rush last year. Curtis went quiet. It's written really badly, so sorry. On. Curtis went quiet on shit for 2 weeks before and after the deed. That's a quadruple murders. Barry's mom, a paravigure, I can't even see that, so he knows not to say shit. Loach cleared his AM. So basically, these people plan to do, allegedly, the quadruple murders. They had problems with Eaton, Zana, and Maddie. May they rest in peace. Barry's mom, a paraviga, sorry. So he knows better not to say any shit. Lodge cleared his AM. Didn't get that? He had, so he couldn't take shit, sorry. SX saw E Zana, that's E for Eaton, Zana, Loach, and Byrne at the party. Loach and E have issues too. E, that's Eaton, rushing. E talk shit about Loach, talking about his roids, that's steroids, and having his, I won't say even that, blah blah, and shovel. Lodge pushed as he wanted, sorry. Yeah, Lodge pissed as he wanted Zana. For dumbass youngers like Eaton, shooters after being assigned. They basically thought Eaton, may rest in peace, was a dumbass and they wanted Zana. Byrne also self-conscious about his pick. blood and talks about empty shit. Byrne and Lodge talked about this shit in general for a while. That means the murders. They talked about even taking their cell phones, leaving their phones behind, and on YouTube, quiet and play. So basically, I think they wanted to leave their cell phones behind and pretend that they were logged on to YouTube so that they would have an alibi, I guess. They decided no pins, no guns, guns are too loud, area dead early Sunday, area would be dead at early Sunday morning. Byrne even calls out shit media. Media says, I'm not going to say the word, you can see it, was the target. Like media said that Kaylee was the target and they call her a very bad name. Then they're saying the shit is false. The bad word again was bad luck. Targets were Eaton's and Mads. Mads talked shit about Loach. Never acknowledged Barry. Mads right about the one. He is a cunt. Loach should have also taken up Barry. Bernie. So there are two guys basically in this scenario. One is called Loach, David Loach, and the other one's called Barry. Looks like the one on the right is the one that had a fight with Eaton. His name is David Loach. I'm not saying he's involved in the murders, but that is what the person was saying who wrote the statements. So he and Eaton went to the same fraternity. I believe they're a bit older than Eaton because one of them was Eaton's tutor. He's the one who uses steroids, I believe, and he had a fight with Eaton and Xana. And apparently they did not like Maddie either because she was using language like cunt and blah blah on him. So this is the person that is being talked about. Now what is interesting is the other person you see on the left is called David too. And he has some horrific pictures on his TikTok. He took it all down now. He made it private. I'll show you a good example of what he had. He went on the name of Green Scream, I believe, in TikTok. Disturbing pictures. I'm not saying it's related to the quadruple murders, but it just shows you what kind of a mindset they have. This is David Loach. I don't know if you notice where he's sitting. He's sitting behind the girl's backyard, or actually behind the girl's house in the backyard on the leather sofa. So I don't know if he was in a party or if he was just sitting there by himself, which it looks like. Was he sitting there and planning how to do this horrific crimes? I don't know. I'm just speculating here. Now this is important. This was the Venmos that were sent to each other after Eaton got killed. So these are Venmos from Saeed S. He sent it to David Barochoa. And then later on, Jackson Gustaville sent him one. Then Saeed paid David Barocha. So these people have been sending each other Venmos. I personally don't know if these are codes they're sending to each other, because you see Saeed G paid David Barocha, and then he wrote C. Then the next one is H. Then the next one is G. And let me show you all who Saeed is. The guy that I showed you all who was exchanging Venmos, I don't know if it was a bet The Venmos were sent the same night the killings happened. This is Saeed S. Isn't that interesting? I'm just speculating. Now that we found Saeed S., could any of these ones be David, L., and Barry? And there's another David. These are the Sigma Chi fraternity boys. And the reason I came to start digging into this body cam, because the timeline that we were given at the start was that the murders happened, trigger warning, between 3 to 4 a.m. This video camera was taken on the 11th. That's November 13th. So 13th November at 2:57. And then I believe it took up to 3:12, 3:15, the whole process of the minors who were pulled up for alcohol under the age of 21. So they're not minors under 18, but they are not under 21. I'm sure by now they're 22 and all. So these 3 guys are definitely from the Sigma Chi. What interested me was the timelines. Then what interested me more was the fact that the police always knew about the whereabouts of Maddie and Kaylee. May they rest in peace, but they did not know the whereabouts from 9 at night to 1:45 of Sana, Conodle, and Eaton Chapin. May they rest in peace. So I found that to be very interesting that they did not know the timelines, and that brought me back to the Sigma Chi. Because although motive is not important for the courts, I believe knowing the motive or having a possible motive will lead you quicker to the answers you're searching for. Now bear in mind, Eaton Chapin had a fight with David Lott about David Lott using steroids. David Lott has made his internet private, but there was some video clips or some TikTok clips, I believe, of him acting crazy on steroids. I remember seeing that a long time ago. But these people have deleted all their social media. Some of them I've logged out and have never come back to their social media. A good example is John S. Showalter. Somebody in the comment asked me, how do you know that he has a K-bar knife? If you check his Facebook pictures from 8-9 months ago, you would see that he had all kind of knives. He loves playing with knives. He had a gun, trigger warning. He has many other things. So I don't talk without having facts or without seeing it with my own eyes. I'm not just going to point out some boys, youngsters, without having facts. These people are putting this up on their Facebook and social media, and they started bringing it down immediately after the quadruple murders happened. I always believed that it was local. It's one of the students, Not one of the students, many of the students. Isn't it strange that the chief said that when the 911 calls was made, it was multiple people were at the house. I'm not saying that the multiple people who did it will be still hanging around the house, but I'm trying to say that this was something local. Another thing that is interesting is Dylan Mortensen herself, DM, said, a man with bushy eyebrows. I can see one with more bushier eyebrows than Brian Koberger. And we all know that. These three characters plus Saeed, all four of them have been acting dodgy. Saeed says he did not know them. Pay attention at the start of this footage, of this body cam. So he was put to a side and they said after we deal with them, we'll let you go. Now these three youngsters were asked, where did you all come from? They said they couldn't remember. They don't know. What is their address? Don't know. Who's the host of the party? Don't know. Then later on they said, oh, some guy called Matt. Look at how all of them, two of them have their hands in their pocket. One has a black glove, the middle one. And then you have this one with his hands crossed the whole time. So what are they hiding? Is the injuries on their hands? What are they really hiding? I won't be surprised if the middle one is David Lodge, allegedly. And maybe the other one's Barry. We don't know. But the motive, I can see two places motives could come from. Sigma Chi and the two Jacks. I always say that. I'll come to them later. This is the only part that there's no cameras, or actually the faces are still blurred, but you could see them better now. The middle one does look like David Loach to me. Actually, I've noticed the one to the left. Pay attention to the whole clip. He's the only one that has his arms and hands out very often. When the police are talking to him, I've seen him many times. Now he's fixing his cap. But these two characters seem to be very fishy for me. Because one has his arms crossed the whole time. How long could you have your arms crossed? Wouldn't you want to touch your face or rub your eyes or reach out for something? Why would you have the defensive mode, your hands crossed in that manner? As for the other one, he has his hands out, but he has a glove. Somebody left me in the comment section saying, I don't know what y'all are seeing and all, and what you're seeing, there's no glove there. There's a glove. I can't be disputing with everyone. We can agree to disagree. But he has on one side one glove. What is strange is the middle one definitely looks like David L to me. Lot. You can see the face features is like, although you can't see the eyes and nose, you can see the same shape of face. So I wonder, this is all speculations I said from the start, I wonder if they did what they wrote, that they would come for the three victims. That means the three victims that they were out for was Maddie, Xana, and Maddie, Xana, and Ethan. May they rest in peace. They said in that statement that Kaylee Congavs was just wrong place at the wrong time, I guess. And they were even actually surprised that the media said that Kaylee was the victim. Like, they were upset over that. They didn't like that, because they meant the media needs to straighten out the story, that it was the other three that were the targets. Sorry, not victims, targets. They said, basically, the statement said, the guy who wrote it said that they actually spoke about the plan, that they would do it within 19 minutes. Run there, do what they have to do, and then walk it back quickly. And if that is the case, I just want to say thank God Almighty. I always thank God, but thank God Almighty that they got stopped by the police. Because now they got my attention and many other people's attention. But they got my channel's attention, because I used to always wonder, what are these four, including Saeed, up to? They're running at the time of the murders. That is why I believe that the story and the timeline changed to us. I'm not saying the police are not falling according to the timeline or this is a cover-up, but I would just say something is not right. Something is definitely not right. The police needed to and should have and could have, and I hope they get to investigate these four people from that night. I hope they start digging deeper into them, and I hope Ann Taylor comes across this clip and understands that this is where her 3 unidentified DNA evidence may lie. Telling you, it's like 95% sure that these 3 and Saeed are up to no good. They are scared, especially the one in the corner, the tallest guy. I kept on watching him towards the end when the police take them out to the road near their car. He is literally shaking. You can see his chest moving up and down, and he still doesn't put down his hands. And when I zoom the camera into his hands, he has injuries, big time injuries. These people had 3 targets on the side: Maddie, Zaina, and Ethan. And they did actually have a fight with Ethan. He called David Lech steroids basically. And David Lech is known to act very bizarre and weird and aggressive when he's on steroids. I used to always wonder why these young men, especially the one in the middle, and the one, yes, and even the one at the corner, I don't know about the third one with the white jumper. I haven't seen his pants well, but these 2 pants look not, I used to think at the start it was dirty, but I won't be surprised if it's dried blood. It does look like that. Especially there's a part, I think, when they go to the light that you see, you notice it much more clearer. You can see, I don't understand why people would say he didn't have on a glove. If you can't see more than that, I'm really sorry, I can't explain it better. Because you can clearly see that's a glove. It just reminds me of the O.J. Simpson case, when Johnny Cochran, the lawyer, said, if it don't fit, you better quit. So I think the glove fits him more than BK. Not saying BK wasn't involved. Look at Saeed. Mr. Saeed S here is watching seriously damaging pictures. So let me try to give you a view of it. Oh my god, that looks like Murphy. That looks like a dog on the left. That is Murphy. There's someone lying here. Oh my god, is that Zan on the floor? I don't know, honestly. I'm just trying to figure this out. Yes, that's somebody on the floor. That's Murphy or a dog. You can see it's a person or two people with mask. I mean, like the mask that Jason wears from Friday the 13th. I'm dead serious. Look at this picture and look at the mask. You see a dog even in this picture. Look at this one's pants, please. That looks like blood.